Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is Macomb, Oakland Regional Center. Hurry back and join us. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Marsha Florence, and today's show is Oakland Macomb Regional Center. And we have with us today Joe Zenawagas, who is the resource advocate, and Sue Goodrich, supervisor of support coordination. Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming. Now, you know what, I have to tell you too, I'm really glad to have you here today. I mean, more so glad, I'm elated, because I had a chance to spend some time with you at the beautiful fashion show, the 30th annual fashion show. So before we get into that, you need to know something about yourself. So Sue, let's start off with you.
I'm a supervisor of supports coordination with MORC, Macomb Oakland Regional Center. I worked there for way too long, 20 plus years.
Okay.
I love what I do. You know, we support people with developmental disabilities and other issues. Over 5,000 people in both Macomb and Oakland County, and it's what I do. I love my job.
Okay. And Joe?
I've been there forever too, and it's a great agency. We're internationally known for helping people with disabilities get out of institutions and nursing homes. We closed 12 institutions in Michigan. The last state-funded public institution closed about 2 years ago, and we were part of that. So huge history with a human rights revolution, getting people the lives that they so richly deserve in the community, giving them the opportunities to be out there and experience the riches of the world, and preventing people from going into nursing homes and institutions as well. So 11 nursing homes we helped close, and we've helped close many more around the country with parts of different lawsuits to help close them, and also around the world as well.
Now let me ask you this: when you say close, is that a good thing or is that considered a bad thing when you say close?
It's considered a good thing, although sometimes in the popular media I think you see some sort of a backlash against it. Oh, they closed this place and they shouldn't have done that. That was a great place and people loved it and so on. But sometimes I think when you have social change and you have the friction of changing the way that care is provided, people are very comfortable with the way that care is provided, and they may not know anything else. And so we had many proponents of institutions actually fight us as we tried to get people out. And they were scared, and maybe families were scared too, and it took a lot of convincing, especially in the early days, that, hey, this will work and this is where people belong. And we had to prove it. And we've done that, and that's why 54 countries have come to learn how to do it. But the first part of it was to be inspired, to see, geez, can it be done? Should we really do this? And then they came back to learn the nuts and bolts, and we've been all over the world too. So it's a good thing, although many people were frightened of it initially.
So was Michigan the first one to actually do the closing for you guys to be the example for the other states?
No, not really. What it was, we were the example for most of the country and the rest of the world, but in terms of the one to get the first of all the institutions closed, we were not, but we were the largest geographical body to close that many. So in the scope of things, I want to say New Hampshire might have been the first one, but they only had several maybe, and that might be wrong, but much smaller thing. But we were the guys that really started how do I say, on a large scale.
That had to be
this.
phenomenal. Yeah. Okay. Now the population you serve, I know is it persons in general with disabilities? Does it varies, or is it mental illness, or a combination of physical and mental?
Our primary population are people with developmental disabilities, but you know, just like the general population, they have other issues, sometimes components of mental illness, other physical illness, certainly, just like the regular population. But our primary population are people with developmental disabilities.
What about the age criteria?
Birth to death.
Wow.
We have children living in their family homes to people in the geriatric population.
Okay.
Lifelong services.
That's a good thing. You know, and it's like when people are in search of a service for their loved ones, are they encouraged to come to Macomb Oakland Regional Center, or is there other components and arms that they meet with first before they get to you guys?
Well, we're encouraged to come and find out about, or call and find out more about us, but the intake goes through in Oakland County through Common Ground, and then Common Ground vets them and sees what they're eligible for, and then in Macomb County it would be through Macomb Community Mental Health. So we have direct intake for, what age range is it in Macomb? For younger children? I can't remember the age.
Oakland County, we have direct intake for children.
Children, right. Okay. So, but they can call us and they can figure out how the intake process works and so on, and we can give them advice on what to expect. This is what you're going to be asked. This is what you need to find out and learn about your situation as you go through that intake process.
Okay. Now, what about family input? So, is the family on hands most of the time for the changes of their family members' lives? In other words, you guys are taking them out of the institutions wholeheartedly to bring them back into the enrichment of their family, or to put them in a stabilized home environment?
It can be a combination of both. We actively partner with families in figuring out the plan for any of their loved ones, any of the people that we serve. As Joe said, we closed the last institution, so primarily we're dealing with people now who either are living in their families or who have been living out in a variety of arrangements, for 1 to several years. But we actively partner with families. They're with us all the way. Okay,
all right. Because, I know sometimes families, they're not certain what to do for their loved ones when they have a person in the family that has a disability. And so some families are quick to say, well, you take her, because I don't know what to do. So is there group therapy and dynamics to make sure that the family understands that, their inclusion is most vital to this situation, so that they will be aware of the things that are going to take place as far as moving, or, if they're going to be in the home, and some of the services that are provided by you guys?
I think the biggest thing that we try to do is educate families, because you are right. A lot of families don't know what is out there. They don't know the difference maybe between a group home or a foster care home or a home of your own. And we're real proponents of giving people education. So when we meet with a family, we try to educate them as to all of those possibilities and show them the different options and varieties of services and living situations and educational situations, vocational situations. We try to educate the family so they can make an informed decision. And we also encourage their involvement to the extent they want to be. Of course, we encourage full involvement, but there are families that aren't capable for whatever reason, and we respect that also.
Okay. Because I can imagine that, if you have a disabled family member and your agency is saying, we can help them become independent living, and the family's like, no way is she going to be able to live by herself. Is there programs and guidelines to give that family the reassurance that they can, or at least give it a try? Because, we run into situations where parents are not sure. It's almost saying, who's going to take care of me when I'm gone? So the parent is always doing, which doesn't allow the disabled person to actually grow within him or herself as the adult, because the parent never moves on, or let go. So do you guys have some type of networking or component that you work on? You're laughing.
Do we ever?
It's really the social workers working with families and so on. And because I was just talking with one of you guys the other day, and the family member had just placed their daughter at age 18, but now she's thinking, well, wait a minute, maybe I don't want to do that, and how do I visit, and how much control should I still have? And the daughter's blossoming, and so, but it's very heart-rendering for the mother. Oh, well, maybe I wasn't a good mother. It's like, well, maybe no to all the things. You're a great mother, but it's time to let go or let her spread her wings a little. But it's different in every situation, because some family members they're 70 years old, and they're child's 50 years old, and they just can't physically do it, and yet they're still concerned, and what'll happen when I'm gone, and so on. But that's a lot of, education, hand-holding, and showing them how other situations work.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, we're going to take a break, and ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.
If a natural disaster happened and we were outside the home, we would probably all meet, I'll say, around the grocery store,
We would all meet at a bus stop. That is our meeting place.
Well, we would probably just meet out in front of the house.
We'd probably meet at our neighbor's house.
If you have no plan, then you can just plan what to do as it happens.
And welcome back to to the show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just not joining us, we're here today with Joe Zenawagas and Sue Gibrich from Macomb, Oakland Regional Center. Now, if you don't live in the Macomb, Oakland regional area, it's okay. We do answer questions across the board that you as a loved one may have some concerns about. And as caregivers across the board, just the same, we will answer some questions for you as well. If you have questions for Sue or Joe or for that organization itself, give us a call at 323-1336, and I must make the correction, 1-800-323-5336, and or go to our website at justasktalkshow.org. Now, let's get back to the components of this, because you know what, caregivers are vital. And most people don't understand that in being a caregiver, you're not just taking care of a person and saying, you know, okay, feed them, bathe them, sit with them. No. It comes from the heart. It has to come from the heart first. So give me you guys' take on your caregivers.
Oh, they're fabulous.
What do we say? How do you do it? I mean, they, just very giving, caring, kind people, and from all different walks of life and backgrounds and histories and reasons that they're in it, and different types of situations that they're in, and from caring for people in a job setting to a vocational to a school setting to group homes, apartments, families, helping families take care of their loved ones, coming in and assisting the moms or the dads.
And all caregivers are not related to each other, right? Because most people always feel like a caregiver is someone from their home. Yeah. Like, you have to be related to that person. You don't have to be related.
We have a huge network of paid caregivers. In fact, probably a huge portion of our caregivers are paid caregivers who maybe aren't related to the people they serve. But, doesn't matter. It is in the heart. Yep, it's all about wanting to just help someone get through life and feeling good about what you do.
What about volunteerism? Do you guys got any volunteers?
We don't have like a volunteer department per se, but we have people that volunteer to help us in different ways, and they may help us at Macomb, Oakland, at the agency itself, or they may help within like a particular group home or a particular nonprofit that has several apartments for people, or they jump in and help someone with their individual lives. Like for us, we have volunteers that do home repairs. Churches come and do some big home makeovers, or we have Forgotten Harvest comes in and helps us with food. We have Carhartt, a sponsor, gets clothes for us, and they do a hockey game. So community involvement, all kinds of different volunteerism going on, whether it's very individual, assisting that person with a disability, or on a more global level, delivering food to families, or rebuilding someone's, building a ramp for somebody. So it's we're such a big organization, and there's so many opportunities for people to become involved at different levels.
That's great.
Yeah, and what I was going to say, there's 8,000 caregivers of all different kinds. We're the largest nonprofit in Southeast Michigan, and it's just a huge network of other nonprofits with thousands of caregivers.
Now, speaking about the caregivers, because you guys just had a wonderful event that I had a chance to enjoy along with you, which is this is your 30th annual Caregiver Appreciation Day. So actually, it was a partnership. Tell me about that.
Well, we saw you were having a nice time there.
Well, we partnered with Kohl's department stores to honor our caregivers in our 30th annual event, which this year, again, was our fashion show.
If human achievement can be determined not by speed or strength, but by character, then it's easy to see who the most amazing athletes really are. Be a fan of dignity, acceptance, and the human race. Volunteer, coach, or compete in Special Olympics. Special Olympics. Be a fan.
And welcome back to the second half of the show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now joining us, we have with us Sue Gibrich and Joe Zenawagas of Macomb, Oakland Regional Center. Now, a lot of you may be caregivers in different areas of the state of Michigan, but the information is across the board. So please feel free, if you have a question, give us a call at 800-323-5336, 1-800-323-5336, or go to our website, justasktalkshow.org. Now, we're going to get back to some good questions, because I know at home you're probably asking some things. Make sure you ask Marcia about caregivers. We're going to go back to caregivers. All right, now, Joe and Sue, one thing about caregivers we know, like you said, we all agree it comes from the heart, most definitely. But is there a training component or something that you guys have at MORC more so than, on the general level? Somebody said, well, I'm a caregiver at home. I don't have to take a class. Or is there a structured program?
Absolutely. Our caregivers all start out with a basic 2.5-week training that has actually kind of been standardized throughout the state, and Mork's basically responsible for developing that training module. And that's a basic training module that covers probably the hundreds, actually, of key areas that pretty much promotes the basic training for all of our caregivers. And then after that, they go through specialized training based on the needs of the people that they're actually serving. And then there are always ongoing trainings as needed. They're also eventually, when they go into a home, trained on the plans of service for the specific people that are living in whatever residence they're working in. So our training is A, extensive, and B, ongoing.
Okay. All right. That's a good thing.
Okay. Absolutely.
What happens if the resident moves outside of your area? Are they still in connection with your services, or does another agency pick them up?
Typically, their case is closed. We help liaison and link them with the outside agency in another area, and we, send information to that agency so there's a good, clear transition and a consistent transition. And we also do follow up afterwards too to make sure they're still happy with their supports and services, and to offer any assistance we can provide too.
Wonderful, wonderful. How's housing done?
Oh, any number of ways.
All kinds of different configurations of people living in apartments, what we call personal residences. Some people live in homes of their own, that they've been able to acquire a home. Others live in small 2 to 6 person group homes. Some are foster families or adoptive families.
People live in family homes.
Families, get care there. Families get assistance. Respite care, we have a respite care home that people can take a break and have their loved one stay somewhere for a few days, or maybe up to a week now, isn't it? Sometimes.
We use housing grants too.
Sure,
someone
wants
to get away for a while. I mean, every now and then, when I say get away, I don't mean to walk away from the family member, but if they need to take a miniature vacation, or something happens to some other family members in another state and they need to go check on them, you guys have a program or a component that allows them to have their loved one be cared for by someone else?
Absolutely, either in the current family home or outside. We have 2 respite care homes that we can provide respite. We also offer respite on an as-needed basis, in any of the vacancies that we have in our other settings. If we have a vacancy and someone has a need, we'll do whatever we can to help solve that need.
So if someone's in your client care list and they say, you know what, my brother's ill in Chicago, I'm unable to care for mom right about now, I need to get away for like 5 or 6 days, they can actually talk to you about having someone oversee their parent while they're gone?
Absolutely. If they're in our system, they receive our services, yes. Absolutely.
Okay, that's good. That's good. A lot of people are so afraid to leave someone or take a break, or what I'm going to do with mom or dad, or what I'm going to do with my son if I should have to go somewhere. And it's almost in question to say that they have stopped living because they're trying to be the caregiver, but they're overdoing it and don't see where they have time or space to take care of themselves. And they sometimes, break themselves down physically and mentally from overachievement of trying to take care of someone else.
Absolutely. And everyone needs a balance in life. We all need a break from everything. I love my son, but I needed a break on occasion as a parent, And respite, that's what that provides, that break so you can recharge, refresh, come back and be the loving parent, brother, aunt, uncle, whatever, and provide that care that you want to provide in your heart.
Great. That's great. And I'm a caregiver. I'm a caregiver of my parents, and I know that, Joe, just like yourself, we do what we have to do, but we also have to have a life too. And in the event when the parents are looking well and smiling and, to be fat and happy, okay, just well nourished and everything, we're at peace. But soon as something falls off the wagon, we stop what we're doing and put total focus on the parent. Okay, so the programs that you guys have with the respite and everything, it's got to be a great concept for people to realize that you can take a break and do some things for yourself that you need to do. Your health will go down too if you're not careful and putting too much emphasis on being a caregiver and not reaching back and doing a little bit for yourself at the same time. But I do know for me, I'm most comfortable when I can see my mom and dad and they're like, hi, how you doing? Oh, yeah, so we're here watching Tiger Woods. So I'm like, Oh, you don't need me today. Okay, okay. But you're looking for a balance. You're always looking for a balance. Okay. So let's talk about this event. I know that I attended the fashion show. I had a wonderful time, and I want to bring up this magazine. We have 2 of them with the cover on it, and this young man looked like he is so excited. I mean, you know, was he not sharp, ladies and gentlemen? Was he not sharp? Okay, okay. Tell us about the event and how does it take place? I know if it's the 30th one, so it must be.
Yeah, that's Rodney Perry who's with us, and he's the star. He couldn't make it this year, but for the past 4 shows, he was the star. But this is part of the 30th annual Caregiver Appreciation Day, which we started years and years ago to raise the profile of caregivers within the community so that they become more respected in the field of human services and they get higher wages, and legislation favors them in terms of providing them with economic benefits and job benefits. So that was a huge thing in the past to do that, as well as the real basics, just appreciate caregivers for the hard work that they do. Sometimes we can't give them all that they should get for doing one of the most difficult jobs that people do, but we can at least show them a day off of appreciation and love and say that you guys are just doing a wonderful job. So that the fashion show has been going on for 5 of that 30 years, and you showed up and had a really nice time.
Oh, I truly did. I truly, truly did. And, you know, ladies and gentlemen, if you missed it this year, I'm sure you have to see it next year, and we'll try to keep you posted. No, we're not going to try. We're going to keep you posted. I mean, it was one of those events that, you know, you had to be a part of it because you couldn't believe it. You know, all the family members, the participants, the sponsors, the organizations. I mean, I was just impressed with the overall size of the room. It held so many people. Do you know how many people?
1,000 plus. It's the largest Caregiver Appreciation Day in the country, perhaps the world. And also it's the largest fashion event in the Detroit area. Bigger than Saks, bigger than DIA, bigger than fashion in Detroit. We had over 100 models, caregivers, family members, all modeled, partnered with a person with a disability. And then we had, 1,000 plus caregivers and people in the community in attendance. So it's a huge event. It's been all over the world on YouTube and so on, so people are checking it out.
We got to try one, guys. I mean, it was just, what took me by surprise was that, like I said, when I walked in the room and I just saw the family members, and then Sue, I saw you on stage, and Sue was working the mic. Okay, she was working the mic like a true fashion coordinator. And I'm like, okay, she must be the person in charge. And the people was just in line enjoying themselves and the ambiance, the atmosphere. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. So, we have some footage that we definitely have to share with our audience.
Thanks.
Okay. So we're going to go to another break, and ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Flores for Just As. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here at the 30th annual MORC and Kohl's Caregiver Fashion Show. Look at all the wonderful people behind us that participated. You've got to see the fashion show. It was beautiful. We're going to show you some things back home, and I tell you what, plan next year to be involved in such a wonderful event.
I am a caregiver.
I am a caregiver. I am a caregiver. I am a caregiver.
I am a caregiver, proudly.
I am a caregiver.
I am a caregiver.
I am a caregiver.
I am a caregiver.
I am a caregiver. I am a caregiver.
I am a caregiver.
I'm a caregiver.
I am a caregiver.
I am a caregiver. I am a caregiver. I am a caregiver. And I am a caregiver.
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 I am a caregiver, and I love it.
And welcome back to the final phase of our show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, I had a wonderful time today because Sue and Joe have a wealth of information that you may need. So please give us a call at 1-800-323-5336. And you know what, and I should ask you guys, I know you have a phone number because somebody definitely going to ask for the phone number of the Macomb Oakland Regional Center. So
586-263-8757, and they can give us a call and find out about programs and services, or if they want to volunteer, want to donate. Very happy to talk with them.
Anything.
Find out anything you want about training, other issues. We can direct you to where you got to go.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What's that number again?
586-263-8757.
Okay, and what's the website?
www.morcinc.org.
Okay, MORC.
inc.org. Or you just Google MORC and you'll see us, or Google Macomb, Oakland Regional Center, and you'll find us in the mix.
Okay. So you got the number there, as well as you got our number, 323-5336, 1-800-323-5336. And justasktalkshow.org is the website. And did you know we have a Facebook account, so you now can see the show on Facebook? So Just As Talk Show on Facebook. Check us out and tell us what you think. Now, Joe and Sue, I tell you what, I had a question for you. Why have Appreciation Day for your caregivers? I wanted to ask that earlier, so I hate to go back to it, but why have Appreciation Day?
You know, our caregivers work hard. They work from the heart. Their job is mental, it's emotional, it's physical. That's our day just to say thank you for all that you do. I mean, they work above and beyond. Most of our caregivers work above and beyond their normal jobs. Some of them work 16 hours a day. It's not a high-paying job, so the benefits they get are not, quite honestly, it's not monetary for the most part. It's more that satisfaction, and this is our day to just acknowledge the fact that we appreciate all they do for the people that we serve. It's a job of love. It really is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that's good. And Joe?
Promoting the concept of caregiving and that it can make their lives easier, as well as the people with disabilities easier. When we promote that to the wider world, that caregivers are great. They do a fantastic service for individuals with developmental disabilities and all kinds of disabilities. And the rest, if we can profile, we can show what they do and tell how much they mean to people. I think that will help them when funding cuts come, and when people want to donate and they want to help the programs, and that's a real important thing to do. And this Caregiver Day achieves not only just appreciation for each individual and for the love and respect that they give the people that we support, but it gives the rest of the world an opportunity to view them and enhance the world's view of who they are and what they do and why they do it.
Absolutely. You know, because Joe, we've done show before, and I remember we've done a show before in reference to dental programs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, and on the average, a person may not think that a person with a disability is like, okay, how much dental care are you going to get, or how much dental care do you need? But you need dental care, hygiene care, everything just like anyone else. So why would we have a cut in the budget that would affect a person with a disability's care? You know, dental care, vision care, hearing care, all of it is inclusive. You know, so I commend you two both, especially for advocating for, you know, persons with disabilities, as well as the organization that you work for, because it, like I said, if you don't have a heart, you can't do these type of jobs. You just can't. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So definitely, and do want you both to come back.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Marcia.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Please tell everybody so hello. Now, we're going to close with some footage, because there's no way we're going to sit here and talk this entire time and don't show the fashion show. So, ladies and gentlemen, I had the pleasure of being there at the 30th annual gala event for the caregivers. So I want you to see what I saw, and if you can't enjoy it the way I did, please plan to attend next year to one of the events. So I'm your host, Marcia Florence, for Just Ask. Now, you can give them a call. What's that number?
586-263-8757.
Okay, and you give us a call, 1-800-323-5336. Facebook us, email us. Let us know what you think if you have a show idea. And don't forget, we're searching for the next conscious chef. So if you think you're the one, give us a call. I'm your host, Marcia Florence, and what do I always say? If you know someone with a disability, or if you just have a general question, don't be afraid to ask. Just ask. Thank you.